So we want to show you in this video how to customize the shapes board and how to design your shapes and put them inside Unity. Hello everybody and welcome to this video. We want to show you in this video how to customize the shapes board package from the educational board series. We're talking about alphabet board, the numbers board, and here we want to explain the shapes board to you, how to customize it, customize all the scenes and dialogues. So let's begin. First we just gonna go to the scenes. We got mainly two scenes for all the game, the shapes menu and the shapes writing scene. For the shapes menu, we got many shapes here. We got square, triangle, circle, rectangle, lines, semicircle, octagon, and pentagon, and different hexagon, whatever. We have many shapes here. We just want to take an example of one of these shapes and try to customize it using the tools that we have, using Unity, using Adobe Illustrator, using Photoshop. So first you need to design the shape. So let me just show you what we need in order to customize or design this game. First thing you need to, let's take an example of rectangle. First you need the rectangle shape. We have the complete shape and we have also the shape with a bath is. So I'm gonna start with this bath, the first part. This is the first part, the second part, third part. You need to design these two. The first one here, it's transparent PNG white, and also this as transparent PNG, shaded. We need also the shapes. So this is for the main menu. You need the shapes. So basically, we just created these shapes. We have rectangle, triangle, square, circle, and we got all these shapes. Also we got the hovering icon for each of these shapes attached here. So basically we're just gonna take an example here. Let's say let me just work with any of these shapes, like if we start for, let me say, go to the scene, and let me just delete the number 9, S9, shape number 9. Let me just delete it. Before you delete it, you make sure that you need to attach an image, a sprite renderer, and this sprite renderer got the box collider 2D, got the button, and in this button we just have the normal icon, the hover icon, and also we have a message here called load shape. So this is very critical for the button, for this menu, and also we got the rigid body 2D, and it's fixed and kinematic. So these are the main things that we're talking about when we adding the shape to the screen. So let me just delete one of these and let's try and add one from scratch. So I'm just gonna go here, create the game object, and just gonna name it as a convention here S9, because we need this name in code. So just name it, try to drag it to the shape somewhere else. Let me just put it here. So got this game object, you can control its position, move it whatever you want. The first thing I just need as here is to add a sprite render. So here we got sprite render. You need to select the image by putting that image inside the the sprite folder. You just need to select this image. Let me say here we got rectangle, so I'm just gonna select it and put it here. Alright, so you can zoom in, double click in the S9, you can control its position whatever you want. You can scale it up, be something like that. Just want to put it here. So this is for the shape. We need to add a box collider to it because we need to detect the detect the collision. So this is for the box collider, just a normal box collider. Also we need to add a button and a rigid body. So first let me just add a rigid body here, and it's fixed angle and kinematic. Also we need to add the most important one here, which is the button. So it's basically button, and this button got normal icon, which is basically this gonna be this one, and also got a hover icon, which is gonna be this one. So we got these two icons. We need to add a message, and for that message you just need to click enter, because we got just gonna call this event, which is load shape. So if we go to S8, we the same thing, we call this event, but we give a different thing. We just give the sprite render component, and also we just give it the message object, which is S8. So the same thing gonna be here. We just give it the sprite render component, which is gonna be basically S8, and also we just give it the game object, which is basically the S. Wait a minute, S9 here. We are S9, so I have to give it S9. And for the sprite message object, which is S9, so just drag the message object over there. So this is gonna take me to to the level of index number 9. So I'm just gonna load. When I click on this button, I'm just gonna call this method called load shape. So this load shape is inside the event. So where do we put the events? We put them inside the camera. So we have here an event object, so you can edit the script just to let you dig in the code and see what is going on. So here we are inside the event script, and when we call that method using that message call, we just call this method using load shape. We give it an object. If you don't give an object, it's gonna be empty, so we just gonna return without doing anything. If we give it, we just gonna call the writing handler. We just set the current index by splitting out the name of that object into 0 and 1. The 0 array, 0, array of 2, which is the first place in that array, is the S, because it's gonna be S, like S. Wait a minute, S9. So we're just gonna split S alone to the left and 9 to the right. So we're gonna array of 2. So we're gonna array of 2. So the first place of that array, which is 0, is gonna be S, and the second place of that array, which is 1, gonna be 9. So this is how we got the name of that selected menu item. So we just get the first place, which is 9, and just convert it into an integer using integer parse, and we just give it to the writing handler, set current index, and we just load the level. And when we load the level of shapes writing, this is basically the next scene, and we just call it by the name of it, and basically we're just gonna run it, and it's gonna automatically load it according to the current shape index, which is a static variable inside the writing handler script. So here's the writing handler script. We got first here, we got the current index shape, the current shape index, which is static attribute. So basically when we start this script, we just load the shape, and when we load the shape, basically we load the everything related to to that selected shape, like rectangle, circle, whatever. So let's be focusing on the main functionality here. We added the rectangle. When you click on that rectangle, it's gonna load me to the next level. So let us test that. So you can see here, when I click on the rectangle, nothing happened. Why? Because you have to care about the box collider. So because we don't have any, we have the collider, it's there, but make sure that it's highlighted in. Yeah, it's there, and this is for the Y. It's perfect. You can go to the TD mode. Everything is good. You can see the collider is just right there. You can control the position here, move it. You can see it there. Alright, this is pretty much cool, but it should be above, above the the background, not below it. So basically, if you go to S8, you're gonna see it's in the default layer, but the tag here is UI button. For the S9, we didn't put a UI button to it, so you have to give it a UI button, and you have to control its position a little bit, move it to the top, somewhere like this. For the collider, let me just go to the box collider, and you can see the box collider is over there. Just control its position. Sounds good. Alright guys, so now it should work because I added the tag and just fix the position of it. You can click on it, it's gonna work fine. So click on it, it's gonna take me to the rectangle page. So right now it's functioning. You can complete it. It's from here. So I completed the rectangle. In the next video, by continuation of this video, we want to work with this rectangle, how to add it, how to customize it in the next scene. So let's see this in the next video, guys. Alright guys, we just back to the track, and we saw how to add the rectangle in the previous video. On this video, we just want to work with the shapes writing. If you go to the shapes, you're gonna see here we got the different shapes. We started from the triangle to the oval to the line to rectangle to zigzag. So you can enable it, you can see it here. So basically, we just add the rectangle. We attach a tracing part to it, and we, as you can see here, we have 4 tracing parts in the rectangle, and we got a rigid body 2D, it's fixed and kinematic, and we got polygon collider attached to the rectangle. And the most important thing here, which is the tag of the shape, we give it a shape tag, as you can see here, and with different elements, with different tracing part and points. So inside it we have tracing points, and this is just a normal object, nothing, is just logical container for all the tracing points. So here we got the tracing point, which is are basically you can click on them and see here the first tracing point, and the second tracing point, the third, and the fourth, and here's the last tracing point. So you need to add tracing point to the shape, and how to do that, basically you need to add a tag tracing point, and each tracing point should got a tracing point component and the index of that tracing point with a polygon collider and with a rigid body 2D as a fixed angle and kinematic. So this is pretty much how to add it. We also want to see how to customize the dialog in the next video, but right now let me just go to the rectangle and just gonna delete it and re-add it again to give you the complete process how to add a shape. So basically just go create game object, create empty, and you need to give it a name. So it's recommended give it this convention 9 dash rectangle. Move it to the shapes here. You can move it to the top and scroll it down, or you can just move it after the line and it's gonna be here. So this is the first thing. I need to add a sprite render to it. So basically I'm just gonna choose sprite render, choose that sprite, which is basically the complete shape, which is gonna be the rectangle here. So just double click on it, it's gonna be selected, so you can just control its position to be somewhere else here. So just move it to the top a little bit. Yeah, sounds perfect. For this shape, I'm just gonna add the things like you know, rigid body 2D to it, rigid body 2D, and just gonna make a fixed angle kinematic. Also we need to add 4 tracing parts to it. So tracing part number 1, and this is the priority number 1, tracing part number 2, priority number 2, and tracing part number 3, priority number 3, tracing part number 4, tracing part number 4, this is priority 4. And also we need to add a 2D polygon collider, so polygon collider 2D, and this is pretty much what we have here. So after you select the polygon collider, you can see we got a polygon collider over this shape, and it's pretty much awesome. We need, after you add all this stuff, we need to change its sprite because we already added the collider. We just need to replace its sprite. And after this, we need to start adding the tracing part, the tracing parts to it, and assign the shape tag to it. So this is basically line, it's got the shape, this is also a shape. We need to start adding the tracing points. So basically you just need to create a logical container, again create empty, and we're just gonna name it as tracing points. It's a logical container, as I said. Attach it to the rectangle, and we're just gonna insert the other game object, which is the tracing points. So this is basically what we want: tracing point. For this tracing point, it's basically we need to add a polygon collider. This is rigid body 2D kinematic fixed angle. Also we need to add polygon collider. It's triggered, and you can see it here. Also we need to add tracing point to it, and just give it an index of 1. So this is gonna be the first tracing point, and you need to control the position of this collider. So just press shift on the keyboard, shift again to change the position here of the polygon collider. So just gonna control the position. Yeah, this is the first part of the collider, first tracing part. I need to duplicate this and make many, so just gonna copy this to the tracing point, and make sure here we got tracing point, and the tag of it is tracing point. So make sure that you change tracing point, and we got tracing point, polygon collider, rigid body 2D with polygon collider and tracing point. This is pretty much awesome. We need to duplicate the tracing point 4 times. So this is second, fourth, third, fourth. So I'm just gonna start naming this. This is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third one, and this is the fourth tracing point. So let me just order the tracing point. This is the first one, this is the second one. I just want to move it here, and this is the third one, and we just start from the bottom right corner. So just gotta move it here, and for the last tracing point, which is pretty much here, we're just gonna move it here. So if we click here, we have 4 tracing point, but we need to fix their position. So select the hand tool and move to the right in order to fix the position of this tracing point. So basically we can select this tracing point and control the position of it, you know, just to control the position of it. So basically we can just reflect it. It's gonna be reflected here. Let me just reflect it here. We just play with the Y, and here the X. You can control the X position, and I can play with the scale. Click -1 to the scale, is gonna be reflected here. Click -1 here to the scale, is gonna be reflected there. So let me just make it here, just a normal reflection. If we go to the other one, just want to also play with the scale. So if we click -1, it's gonna be here. If you click -1, it's gonna be there. So I'm just gonna move it using the selection tool to the, wait a minute, Control Z. select the tracing point and just select this area here and just move it to the left. And yeah, it's pretty much awesome. For the last part, tracing part number 4, just double click here, zoom in, and we need to reflect it in the Y. Let me just put -1 here. Alright, pretty much awesome. You can move it a little bit to the right, and here we got four tracing points. So for all these tracing points, make sure these tracing points are above the polygon collider of the rectangle. So we just go select them all, go to TD mode, and you can select the hand tool here just to see where they are. So you can see them here. They are the same transform, the same position for as for the rectangle. So I need to move them to the top of it. So basically just move them to the top of it a little bit, something like this. They are perfect like this. So right now I can go and just to test the functionality of the rectangle. Wow. Let me just go to the rectangle again, hide it, try to run it again. So it's rectangle. I click here, nothing happened because we need to add this rectangle to the shapes here. So you can see the element number 9 is not selected, so I have to drag and drop the rectangle to the element number 9. So this is pretty much what we have to do. So right click, back here, you can see the rectangle over there. You can start tracing it, but nothing happened. It's, you know, the tracing line renderer is working, but we didn't assign the bathes. So we need to back to the rectangle and turn it on, and to see what are the main tracing point. We got 4 tracing point, as if you remember. The first one is here, second one is here, and we said that we got 4 tracing parts. The first one is from 1 to 2, the second one from 2 to 3, and the third one from 3 to 4, and the last one from 4 to 1. So if we go to the tracing point number 1, we want to work with them, so we just give it index number 1 here, index number 2, index number 3, index number 4. They are all configured. So right now we can go to the rectangle and configure the tracing part. So here's the rectangle. We can begin with the first rectangle. The size of it is gonna be 2, and basically we're talking about from 1 to 2. We go to the second one. Basically we're talking from 2 to 3, and the last one is from 3 also 2, which is from 3 to 4, and last one is from 4 to 1. So right now it should work correctly. So if I go here, try run it, go back, the first part, the second part, the third part, and the last part. Hey, I got the rectangle and it's already there. So right now we want to see how to create the winning dialog for this shape. So if you go to the winning dialog, we got a winning dialog object here. You got all the buttons. We got 2 things mainly we concern about, which is a finished, which is a text. You can change it here, which is basically a game object attached with a mesh renderer and text mesh, and the shape image, which basically the image here, and the shape name, which is a triangle, which is also a text mesh, as you can see here, triangle. So we need to change this in real time, the triangle, and also we need to finish, we change this, the shape image, in the real time. So shape image is the object name, and we give it a sprite of 2, 1. But how we change this? Basically, we have an array of shapes in the game here. If you go to the shapes, we got an array of shapes, which we put all the shapes here, the elements, the game object here, shapes, array of game object. And we got another one for Sprite, shapes Sprite. And every shape got its little shape icon here, the red triangle here, as you can see here. So for shape number 9, you can give it any shape you want, but this is gonna affect in real time. So make sure you give it the right shape. So in this case, I'm just giving a shape to the in this triangle. I don't want to change the triangle, but every shape, like we here rectangle, so it's number 9. So inside the shapes object, I need to give the element number 9 to the rectangle to see it. So just double click on the rectangle and it's gonna be there. Alright, so what about the name? Where do we got the name? We got the name from the right side of the name. So the left side, which is 9, we got the name of the index of the shape, and the right side we got the name of the shape. So make sure that you have that in mind. So right now, if you click to play and we go to the rectangle, you complete the shape. You can see here we completed the rectangle, but hey, wait a minute. If we went to the shapes, let's say I don't want to work with rectangle, I just want to say rectangles like this. Alright, and I just gonna go, after you change this game object, you need to type enter here. So let me just type enter in order to change it. So this is gonna affect two things. The shapes here should be it's automatically updated. For the element, which is number 9, if we select a different shape, like if we choose, for example, a circle. So right now, if you run the game, go rectangle, it's gonna take you there because we are talking the index here, and the index is 9 remain the same, but we changed the name. So let's try win this game right now. So we change it, but you see here the name is changed to rectangles and the shape is changed to circle. So make sure that you put the right shape with the right name. So this is the rectangle, it's gonna be the same rectangle. I'm just gonna click enter, and the shape of it inside the shapes should be the same. So I'm just gonna go here and choose the shape of the rectangle just to make a match between the both two. So right now, just gonna win. So this is pretty much, guys, about the customization of the shapes board in the educational board series. We're talking about alphabet board and shapes board and number board. You can find all these packages in Google Play Store by going to udemy.ahmadnasr.com, and you can get your discount there. And also you can visit us on udemy.ahmadnasr.com, and or let me say udemy/u/ahmadnasr, and you can get all these special courses directly to you. So thank you guys for watching this tutorial about alphabet board. I hope you like it. Don't forget to join us on YouTube and Udemy and on side our account here in Access Store. So thank you guys for watching this video. See you in another lesson.